So when we are talking about the French Revolution, the war with Britain, right? So France war with Britain ended in 1783, right? After this war, what happened? US became independent, but France, what happened to France? France gained nothing except national debt owing to non-payment by the riches. So there was, however, an opportunity for financial reforms and stability. So this led to what? Financial reforms if they wanted to do any. Now the new finance minister was Charles de Calonne. Charles de Calonne was appointed in 1783 owing to the end of British war and the situation that was at that time, and he declined. At first what happened, he declined to cut the royal expenditure, and that was the first thing. He declined to cut the royal expenditure at that time. Okay, so what happened that because he was aware that without change France would go bankrupt, so he decided to have a meeting. So in 1786 he submitted the proposal for reforms. What were the main points of the reforms? Reform the system of tax, reform the tax system by having more taxes on the wealthy. Then he said that encourage commerce industry, encourage commerce industry. And the third thing is to create confidence in France and its economy so that it could borrow more money, right? Create confidence among the people so that they could borrow more with lower interest rates. So that was the key, that it can borrow more with lower interest rates. So this was the thing. Right? Now what happened? The king prepared from time to time to take an interest in matters of finance, approved the plans. However, the decision was taken in the light of growing public concern and interest in the economy to submit these proposals. Now, where the proposals were to be submitted, it would be submitted to the Assembly of Notables. So the king approved it and it was to be submitted to the Assembly of Notables. Now, in the hope of gaining support for the measure, but this body basically comprises of what? Right? Only,
Second and first state.
yes. So this basically consisted of only 144 members, and out of 144 members, only 10 members were not notables. And they met it for the first time since 1626. So वो मिले ही नहीं थे, मीटिंग ही नहीं हुई थी. They met for the first time since 1626. So what happened? What happened to that finance minister Calhoun? He was disliked by the vast majority of the notables. He had little support. Even with the support of the king, the notables rejected, and he had no idea how to manage the notables, and he had no clarity on what the notables' role was. So the king was, now this led to what? The king was in uncertain situation. And what happened?
नोटेबल्स ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया प्लान. आप कह रहे हैं नोटेबल्स प्लान रिजेक्ट कर दिया और कलोन को सपोर्ट नहीं मिली. नोटेबल से भी और किंग को भी रिजेक्ट करना पड़ गया प्लान क्योंकि नोटेबल्स ने रिजेक्ट किया था.
Bilkul. So the king was uncertain, and so he decided to take action. And the action he take was sacking Cologne. So Cologne was removed in April 1787. He was replaced by another finance minister, Etienne Brienne. Etienne Brienne. Etienne Brienne, who as president of the Assembly of Notables was styled to influence over the members. Right? But this person was the president of the Assembly of Notables. That was the main point, that he was the president of the Assembly of Notables, and other point was that he was disliked by the king. So he wasn't liked, he was basically disliked by the king, who distrusted him, and so it means that he had little royal support. Now what happened, that the notables started asking an accurate account of royal finances, that what are the real royal finances and how they are being done. So the king refused, and what happened, the king refused and dismissed the assembly, as it happens over here, dismissed the assembly. So this caused the anxiety. Now, what happened is that this caused great anxiety and protest among the educated public and marked the start of the financial and political crisis. So this marked the start of political and financial crisis that led to the revolution itself. So this whole structure that led to the revolution. Now what happened is that, is it clear now?